right, Mr. Colin Moore, welcome to back to Australia.
Thanks very much.
How's you've been down here for a little while now. I imagine you've acclimatized finally.
Yeah, I have acclimatized a little bit. I mean, the weather's been a little different this year than it was last year. A lot more rain this year than last year. I had more sun in October last year than I had the last 3 months here, but it's been a long haul. I'm ready to go home to a white Christmas, to be honest.
How much longer are you in Australia for?
I'm here till Tuesday, so it'll be a complete 3-month tour, and then I go home for a little vacation.
Now, the majority of this tour has been spent touring with the Tea Party's Jeff Martin, another Canadian icon. How have those shows gone?
It's gone really good, actually. I was surprised, not at how Jeff was playing, but I have a little more respect for how much he plays now. You know, in Canada, back home, it's like there's always this controversy with him sounding like Jim Morrison and trying to sound like Led Zeppelin, and him doing the covers and stuff. So he got discriminated a lot against for that. You know, got pushed down a lot. But I have a lot more respect for him now after touring with him. So he's a great musician, and behind closed doors, he's a lot nicer than he seems to be. He's not the dark Darth Vader everyone thinks he is.
And when it comes to the crowds, how have they responded to your music?
I've been really impressed, actually, and really happy that everyone's been kind of taking it in. I'm usually used to playing with a full band, or at least duo with my guitar player, and playing by myself is kind of bringing it back to the roots. And obviously, playing in between big bands, it's a little different, but people seem to be liking it.
Now, I understand, although your debut album was originally released in 2010, it's only just been released in Australia this year, and that's what's prompted this 3-month jaunt around the country. It must be kind of getting a bit odd to be releasing it in different territories, or is it working for you?
It's working for me. I definitely like it. I mean, I'd like to play more back home, which I don't do enough of, I think. I've done a lot of Quebec and a lot of Montreal, but not a lot of the rest of Canada, the Western and Eastern. I've only done it once or twice. And the US as well. I've done a lot of Germany, Belgium, France, Australia, a lot of European, which is working out really good for me, doing good support acts for a lot of good artists. Roseanne Cash was one of them. Like, to be able to play with Johnny Cash's daughter is amazing. But I'd like to play a lot more around Canada and do a lot more of the festivals back home.
Now, you got your start, of course. I think your first gig was at Canadian Music Week, or around that period in 2008 in Toronto. And you know, is there a following for you back home, or is it more over in Europe? And
you know, it's kind of backwards. It's I'm an English-speaking singer, and I come from Montreal, Quebec, and I do really well in Quebec City. Like they just love it. Back home in Montreal and Quebec City, they treat me really well. The rest of Canada, you know, I haven't done it enough to actually tell you. Once I do enough touring out there, I'll be able to make a little more. But for now, I've done enough in Germany to know that they're just great listeners. You always get a good crowd in Germany. For a singer-songwriter, I would say anybody who plays by himself to go to Germany.
Now, I can't imagine over the last few years you haven't been writing any more material. Is there going to be new stuff coming from you in 2012?
Oh, there's always writing material. I'm constantly writing. I did 4 or 5 songs here with my guitar player, Ryan Battistuzzi. He just left and went back home to finish. He's an engineer as well, so he does a lot of other bands. But we did a couple of songs here at Jeff's Trio Studio in Miranda down in Yowie Bay. And we have enough record songs to do it. We're actually thinking about doing a double disc because we have so many songs. So we'll see what happens, but that's the plan.
How much longer of the touring cycle do you think your debut has left to go?
Oh, I'm done with the second album. I was done with it last year, man. Like, really. Playing the same song. That's why half my set is all newer songs. I just released a little acoustic EP. It's not available on iTunes, or maybe it is available on iTunes and at live shows, but not available in any record stores or anything like that. It's just all the songs that got cut off the first record. I decided to put them acoustic and redo them on tape and do it the old-fashioned way. And I plan on doing that on every record. So there'll be a lot of stuff always coming out, and that's the plan anyways.
Based on the feedback you've gotten in Australia, will we be seeing you back here next year?
Oh, definitely. If my booker doesn't screw it up, I told you I'd get you eventually. If he doesn't screw it up, I'll definitely be back next year. And as long as, I want to make sure I have the record out and ready before I come back, and I want to make sure everything's organized before I come back to do it. But I definitely want to come back next year.
Well, we hope to see you, and I'm looking forward to...
Full band.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I'm getting tired of doing it by myself, to be honest with you. I want the band.
Have you toured with the band previously?
Yes, but usually back home, Quebec, the Quebec area, region, Canada, wherever it's the cheapest, obviously. I mean, come on, we're talking about it's cost efficient. I'm in the music business because I love to play music. But at the same time, I got to pay the rent, just like everybody else. So if it's too much to cost to get the whole band to come over, I don't do it. But I'm trying to kind of force the hand and make sure that it does happen with the next band.